just start the video with, "Hey yo, sup?" I mean, that's how it's starting at the moment. I hit record, so. All right.
Nice. Good start.
So, this has been brought about because of how many times I've said that's top 10 or top 5 game of all time. We're putting him on a list, so I can't say that anymore.
You won't believe what's at number 17.
So true. So, we got the tiers. We got my beloved top tier, favorite game of all time, the GOAT's bangers, rose tinted glasses, and we have the games that I fucking hate, but I've played a lot of. And the first game is going in that tier, baby.
No!
Ark Survival Evolved.
The memories.
Dude, the memories are good, but that game is ass.
Yeah. And overall, that time was a worst time.
Yeah. Okay. We could talk about Ark for hours, but you know what we could talk about for not hours? Balatro, baby. It's a GOAT. You might not agree with me.
It's just a card game, bro.
Bro, it's a good card game. I love that game. It's the best. It's like the second best card game roguelike of all time. Okay, I won't spoil anything. We got Bowser's Inside Story. Boom. It goes right here.
I've never heard of that game.
It's a Mario and Luigi RPG. It's arguably the best. It's the best in my opinion. I like it the most. I love that game. It was a staple of my childhood. But it's also a good game that holds up today, and the critics would agree with me. So,
Just to be clear, how many are in My Beloved?
just one. There's only one that's going up there.
Just one.
Just one.
Okay. And is the order within each tier? Does that matter? Are you gonna sub-order them?
I'll order them at the end.
Okay.
Okay, so we got Binding of Isaac. I think that game, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of it anymore. I know there's a lot of content to do.
Speak your mind. Speak your mind.
I know that people say it's a really good game, but I'm just not a huge fan of the multi-factor authentication of the RNG at hand at play. I like my games a little bit less random than Isaac. I don't like that there's no item descriptions. I don't like that how many items are negative. I don't like how many characters just kind of suck. I'm looking at the Lost. I'm looking at the Tainted Lost.
But how are you gonna get 4,000 hours in it if it's not really random?
What, brother? I got 117. Don't spread lies about me.
No, I'm saying, how are you ever gonna get it to 4,000 hours if it's not gonna be random as fuck? You know?
Oh, true. That's a good question. I don't have the answer for you. Okay. We got Bookworm Adventures. For the two people out there who might see this and not know what it is.
Are you sure that's not rose tinted glasses?
I just kind of dragged it up there. You got like a Scrabble board, and you spell words, and then the word length determines the damage, and then like the letters do different damage points. I think it's pretty good. If you like spelling, I would recommend checking it out. But that is it. That is just a game from my childhood that's impacted me. Same thing with Truzzle, honestly. You just match the color. It's like Bejeweled, but if you click on it over and over again, they burp, or they'll go and they'll sneeze, and the fat ones, they can loot, they can get naked. It's kind of weird.
Whoa,
yeah, it's kind of weird. Okay. Dark Souls 2 might be controversial. I think it's a banger. I like Dark Souls 2 a lot. You could argue that it should be rose tinted glasses because I've not enjoyed it as. I'll put it at the top of rose tinted glasses because I've not enjoyed it as much in recent years. It was the first Souls game I ever played. It kind of just fits the definition for rose tinted glasses, right? First Souls game I ever played. It's kind of how I met Darian.
Like an old car kind of banger, you know? If you're going to put it in bangers, it'd be like if the definition was old car. But that's not what the definition is.
Yeah, it was like the first really long conversation I had with Darian, and it was the first game me and Victor ever played together. So there's a lot of nostalgia there.
There's a lot. Isn't it funny how much about games is just the memories? in the that's why for me Ark would be in rose tinted glasses as well, But
yeah. Well, so the reason that
It
Ark
brings
is
back
not
innocence.
up there is because I want other fucking dinosaur games.
Yeah,
Give
punish
me-
it. That makes sense.
Yeah, give me other
It's
dinosaur
the biggest
games.
opportunity, dude.
Dark Souls 3, as much as I want to just shit on it and yell about it and hate it, it is a banger. I just got burned. The last time I did a playthrough was for the 100% playthrough, and a lot of the offline features didn't work when I was doing that. So me and Victor just watched Venom and like Carnage in a call grinding the same like 2 enemies in Anor Londo trying to get a Covenant drop, and that drops it all the way down to here for me. But I gotta be real, it's a banger. If that didn't happen, I'd probably go back and enjoy it. It's my stress game. If I'm feeling stressed out, really anxious, I'll give it a reinstall. I'll parry Undex Gundyr to death with my bare hands.
That shows that you built different when you're playing a Souls-like game. When you're
To
stressed. To
de-stress.
calm down.
I've played a lot of Souls games. Goat, Dark Souls 1. It's how me and you met,
Boom.
even.
Yeah.
Boom. Top of
It's
goats.
one of my goats. Yep.
Yep. Elden Ring. Oh boy. I wish that this game did not exist.
But it's a Souls-like, bro. You can't go wrong, right? They're all the same.
Look, it's everything that I don't like about modern gaming rolled into a Dark Souls 3 looking ass package. Every boss is like a QTE event, bro, because they have super long windups and then instant hitboxes that come out. Like the world design, you can say it's open world. I guess it is if you know where like you're going and shit, but it feels just as level based as Dark Souls 1 to me. The only Souls game it feels less linear than is Dark Souls 3. Because in Elden Ring,
There's big open spaces with nothing happening.
yeah, and you can go wherever you want, sure. But if you go to an area and you're immediately one-tapped by an enemy's basic attack, like one hit of its 37 hit combo, like clearly that's not where you're supposed to be. So it feels a lot more linear than like Dark Souls 1, where you can like run down into like the gutter and stuff. And I'm also very biased because I've speedrun Dark Souls 1 a lot. So I kind of just go wherever I want.
It's the
But-
greatest game of all time.
Look, Elden Ring makes me so upset. It's the only Souls game where I have gotten bored and stopped playing multiple times before I beat it. I got so bored playing Elden Ring, I dropped it 2 separate times. Demon Souls, it's a banger. I kind of want to put it in rose-tinted glasses because it's so clunky, but because the remake exists, it's a lot less clunky now. And most
And a
people,
good remake.
yeah, and it's a very good remake. I like all the animations a lot. I like the new stuff they did. It's a very good game. Highly recommend. Very fun. I don't really have a lot to say about Demon Souls. It was like the prototype for a lot of stuff. Basically, I know Dark Souls is where the term Souls-like comes from, but Demon Souls is where it came from. So, Gunfire Reborn, we got another banger. Not a lot to say about it. First-person furry Borderland roguelike. It's very fun. It's got a lot of unique guns. There's really not a lot to say about it.
Decently made, yeah.
Yeah. We got Baldur's Gate 3. So this one's a weird one for me.
Don't flirt with rose-tinted glasses. Oh, well, go on, explain why, go on.
So this one's a weird one for me because everybody was hyping this game up so much, it made me not really like it that much. And with the amount of times I've started playthroughs with people and then we never finished it, and the amount of times I've played through Act 1 and like the first half of Act 2 makes me really not want to start a playthrough. But once you start a playthrough and it's like it makes me fall in love with it every time I play it, which is a very good thing. But the fact that I very much so dread playing it, it's like I don't know how to feel about it. I feel like I have to put it in the GOATs though, because once I start playing it, I'll play it for like 100 hours. I feel like I have to put it in the GOATs. I got a lot of issues with it though. The performance really sucked when it came out. The amount of times I played through it, but other than the performance, like the fact that I don't like that I have played it so many times at the start is kind of my fault. You know, it's not the game's fault.
Yep, skill issue.
I wouldn't
Just
call
like
it.
with, Elden Ring.
I wouldn't call it a skill issue. What? First of all, don't talk shit about my Elden Ring gameplay. First of all, don't talk shit about my Elden Ring gameplay. First of all, watch yourself. Liza P, boom, get, boom. Nah, it's not better than Dark Souls. Is it better?
Wow.
Do I like it more than Balatro? Because Dark Souls has a lot going for it, because I will die on the hill that the world design was a fluke. They do not make level design like that in any of the other Souls games. All the other Souls games are literally level based, except Elden Ring. But it there's so much going on for Dark Souls. Like, it's how we met, it's how I met a whole lot of different people. It's a game that I speed ran. I've got like over probably 2,000 hours in it at this point. Like, it's just, there's so much going on for Dark Souls. I don't think I can take it out of the GOATs.
I mean, the charm is just insane as well.
Yeah, it's so good. I'll still go through and play this game, and I'll do the "Can I beat this game normally?" challenge, and then I'll get bored, and then I'll just run to the end. Liza P's a weird one, because I really like the lore and like the gameplay, but the thing that's holding it back is it has the Elden Ring thing where there's super long wind-ups and then unbelievably fast hitboxes, so you just kind of have to know when the attack is going to actually start. But like, I love the story, I love the aesthetic, I love so much about the game.
But isn't there maybe one difference? I feel like there's input reading in Elden Ring, because it seemed like it would vary, waiting for you to do particular things, and then it would initiate like after, like the windup would keep going until you hit a particular button. I don't know if Liza P does that though.
I don't know if either of them do it, because I didn't feel that in Elden Ring, but also the way I played Elden Ring was like a fucking crackhead. Like, I had a bleed dagger just sticking to enemies' ankles, just bleeding them to death super quickly.
Well,
I
played less than you of Elden Ring, so maybe I'm just bad.
Damn. Okay. I don't know. I want to put this up, because if we're talking about like lore and aesthetics, it might be tied with the game that we're saving for My Beloved. You know, it might be tied.
That was the biggest spoiler you could have ever done.
It might be tied. You don't know, man. You don't know. Everybody knows. If anybody's bet me, they know what my favorite game of all time is. I do not shut up about it.
Some random people will click this, okay?
I hope so. And they're gonna be like, what game has a really similar aesthetic to Liza P? Crazy.
Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon. Speaking of, I don't know. Liza P is crazy, and I could cut it out. I'm not going to, because I'm lazy, but I could cut it out so I didn't spoil it.
Liza P, I think it has to be up there, right? I mean, the aesthetic of it as well.
It's so good, and like the lore, like, oh, I love it so much.
And I think it does world-based storytelling a little better, in my opinion, than like Dark Souls, which you should, because like Dark Souls was much earlier, so you'd expect it to prove.
Like Liza P, if there wasn't so many memories involved with Dark Souls, this would definitely be top of GOATs. Like, I fell in love with this game so quickly. I will say, the fact that I don't really want to do like multiple playthroughs and play through it over and over again is a contender, at least for how I play games, because I play so many roguelikes. That is a point against it, that it is a very linear story-based game, so I'm not going to play like 400 or 500 hours of it, just because I finished it, and that's it. But it's up there. I love this thing.
You don't have to do that with all games, but yeah, I know you like games like that.
We got Pokemon Fire Red. Might be my most played game on this list. Because it was one of the only games I had for a really long time. Because it was Game Boy Advance. I got it on like my 5th or 6th birthday.
Would you have played it if you had other games available at the same time, though? I'm not saying like future games.
Well, I mean, I still play it. I still play it on emulator. is why it's probably my most played game of all time. It has to go into the GOATs. It's my favorite Pokemon game of all time. It's so good. It's, I don't know. It feels weird putting a game up. It feels weird putting this next to like Baldur's Gate 3 and stuff because it's not a very complex game. I'll put it in bangers. Well, you know what? This is my tier list.
It is your tier list.
It is my tier list. We'll put it up here with the GOATs. I'll put it between Lies of P and Dark Souls just for the shock value of having be surrounded by Souls-likes. Well, because, like, if Dark Souls is above Lies of P because it has so many memories involved, I feel like the game of my childhood has to be up there, you know?
So we're ranking nostalgia highly.
Well, it's like, I feel like it's a genuinely good game. It's a remake of the... For you, specifically, Mr. Zolarix, because you have no idea what I'm talking about. It's a remake of the Gen 1 with like Game Boy Advance graphics, but it has the physical special split and it fixed a whole bunch of bugs in Gen 1. And it added like post-game content and like Gen 3 Pokemon and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really good.
Actually.
I like Fire Red a lot. My work laptop, actually, the lock screen, until they made me change it because they didn't want to reset it because we had to get new laptops, was the title screen for this. So it's a good one. I rate it very highly. We got Galaga. Galaga's a banger. Galaga? It's the spaceship game. We go pew 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 pew, and you shoot like the aliens, and they go like the and they kidnap you. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
No, I didn't know you liked basically any space games. Actually, whoa, that's interesting.
Well, it's like a 2D arcade game. I've screenshotted for you before, but you probably forgot because it is not very complicated. It's, you know what? It's going to rose tinted glasses. I'm gonna be so real with you. As much as I love Galaga, it's just nostalgia. I can't pitch Galaga to you. I can't make an argument for you to go spend your time playing it right now. Yeah, it's an old game. It's an old game. Like I feel like if I can't make the pitch for you to play it, it should be in rose tinted. Because I could argue, right? Hey, you like Pokemon, or you like the idea of playing Pokemon. Go play Fire Red as your first one. It's not very complicated. There's not like 1,000 Pokemon for you to remember. There's not 800 million mechanics. It's just a solid experience where you capture Pokemon and you battle, and then it's just a good time. Like, I can pitch someone in 2025 Fire Red. Unless you have nostalgia for Galaga, I can't really pitch you Galaga, you know?
Gotcha.
So that means it probably has to go down there. Chuzzle is just Bejeweled, and people like Bejeweled even to this day.
Sure.
Hearthstone, unfortunately impactful. I still play Hearthstone. I feel like with how much monetary investment there is, it's an unfortunately impactful. Thankfully, I've not spent very much on Hearthstone, I don't think. But it's kind of like the thing about card games where if you like them, it's kind of unfortunate because unless it's like Slay the Spire or Balatro or I can't remember the other one. I can't remember the third one because that's why it's not on the list.
Magic. Oh.
No, I'm talking like the roguelike ones where you like pay for them once and then that's it. It's a money investment, honestly, and unless you can have fun getting your ass beat, card games aren't really that good. I'm gonna be so real with you. As a card game fan, if you're not okay losing a lot, they're not that good. Brothership. I think Brothership is going to be a low banger for me, honestly. My second favorite Mario and Luigi RPG. It got me through a really rough patch in life. But it's good. I like it a lot. It has some really, really good animations. The story's very basic. It's very linear, but it has like just classic Mario RPG gameplay, and it's got really good animations. So it's just a very enjoyable experience. Overwatch, unfortunately impactful. I have spent more time playing Genji than I have on most of these other games on the list. On just Genji. I feel like that's enough said about Overwatch. We all know.
It's sad that you can't look back at it with fond memories, right? Because there's so much pain involved.
You can't tell me that when I showed you the tier list and you went goats. Ugh.
Like, I know, that's what I'm saying. No, that's exactly what I'm saying, dude. Isn't that so sad?
Yeah, it sucks.
I got PTSD from seeing goats.
Fuck Overwatch, dude. Stardew Valley.
Oh god, yeah.
Cozy game, very cozy. I haven't spent a lot of time on it recently, but I would highly recommend it. It's a different vibe from like pretty much everything else on the list. It's just a nice cozy game. I might put it at the top of Rose Tinted Glasses just because if you're not into like relationship and farming sims, you're really not gonna like Stardew Valley. I think it's like a great game. I think it's fantastic, but it's so niche and like if I'm in it's weird because it's a cozy game, but I don't play cozy games to like relax. Like if I want to relax and I'm stressed out, I'm gonna go play Dark Souls 3 and parry Gundyr to death with my bare hands, or I'm gonna do a randomizer mod of Firehead, or I'm gonna do a couple runs of Balatro, or I'm gonna do I'm not gonna play this because that's a time investment. But you know what I'm saying? It has like, I really love it, but I can't rank it very high because it's such a niche, like carved out section of gaming, but it's the only thing in that carved out niche. So when I'm craving something like Stardew Valley, it is the only game I'll play, which means I feel like I should rate it higher. Because if I want a Souls-like experience, we got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 Souls games.
Yeah, it stands alone, right? So maybe it should be...
I feel like it should be a GOAT because it is the only game of its type that I'll play if I get that itch. You know, I feel like it has to be a GOAT. That feels weird. Banger? No.
Yeah, maybe a banger.
Yeah, maybe a banger. Sekiro. The Osu Souls-like. I'm gonna put it at the top of bangers. My issue with Sekiro is it's the FromSoft game I struggle to replay the most. Not counting Elden Ring. Fuck Elden Ring. We don't like Elden Ring in this house. It's the Souls-like that I struggle replaying the most. And it's such a unique experience, but the unique experience is literally pressing the left bumper 40 times and then the right bumper. So it's definitely enjoyable, but I don't think I can make it more than... I think I'll put it like this. This tier list is so cursed. I'll put it like right here.
You got a lot of feelings, you know? And you got to do the math.
I play a lot of games. I play a lot of different genres. Skyward Sword, I will die on this hill. I think it's a banger. I'll order this a little bit later, but so the things that people had a lot of issues with, and I completely agree, is that the companion, I think it's like Fee or Vi, I can't remember her name at the moment, it's just slipping me, is really annoying and like handholdy, and the motion controls were really clunky and weird. I'm really glad Skyward Sword got the recognition it deserved, because when it re-released on Switch, they toned back like the hand-holdiness of the companion, and they made it so you could play it with just a controller and you didn't have to mess around like the weird gimmicky motion controls, and people like the game. Crazy. It's good. It's fun. It's
Boom.
very puzzly. Chronologically, it's the first Zelda game. Chronologically, what did I
Yep.
say? Chronologically.
Chronologically.
Chronologically. Chronologically, it's the first Zelda game. It's pretty cool. I like Skyward Sword a lot. Ghost Runner is a goat, 100%.
True.
Um, is it a bigger goat than Dark Souls? I think it's well.
Ooh.
So I really like Ghost Runner. I don't think I can put it above Dark Souls because of one, how steep the learning curve was. Two, there was a lot of bugs and weird finicky things in the game that just kind of took you out of the flow. Like,
Sorry, I'm sorry. Did you just say that the Ghost Runner learning curve was high, but you were comparing that to Dark Souls?
yes,
I'm pretty sure.
Dark Souls doesn't require aim. Okay, Dark Souls doesn't require aim.
All right, I'm bad at both, and Dark Souls was a freaking journey. Okay.
Dark Souls
Ghost Runner
1 wasn't a
was-
journey for me. I played Dark Souls 2 first.
I know.
Goofball.
Okay, well. I know, but still, but you're glossing over the learning curve. You're like,
Well, because in Dark Souls, I hate to say it, in Dark Souls, you typically don't die in one hit. So you get time to look at enemies' patterns and stuff. In Ghost Runner, you could get shot in the back of the head by an enemy like 400 feet away. You don't know they're there, and you just die, and then you have to start over from the last checkpoint. So,
I died plenty of times in one hit from gravity.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's it. Okay, cool. Like, I don't know. Ghost Runner's definitely it's definitely. I don't know if I can say it's a better game because of how buggy it is.
But aren't the bugs? I mean, some of the bugs were kind of what made it enjoyable, right?
Well, yeah,
Also,
but then there's also the
you
bugs
just
where you
reminded me that
vault
how
and
you
clip through
you-
a wall.
You started playing Ghost Runner as a speed game. I just remembered that.
Maybe I did. maybe I just.
Yeah, the learning curve, man. The learning curve goes straight into speedrunning.
Come on. You didn't have to call
I'm gonna
me out like
expose you.
that.
This is meant to be an honest list.
Look, honest list, as much as Dark Souls has done for me just in terms of my life, I like Ghost Runner a lot. It's got better music, it's got better story, it's got better atmosphere, it's Genji Simulator. I like the aesthetic more than Dark Souls. It's actually fun, unlike Dark Souls, where Dark Souls'
Whoa.
main appeal was just being difficult. And then being good at it makes it fun. Yeah, I'm
Alright,
calling
but
Dark
Souls
Souls
isn't
out.
unfortunately impactful then. Jeez.
Oh god, I could talk. 'Cause that's how you know I really like a game, because if I can talk like 20 minutes of straight shit about it, I probably enjoy it. I probably really like it. Ghost Runner's more of a go. It's got better music. It's a speed game. I know Dark Souls is. Oh, it's a speed game. Like when I was playing it and stuff, but like Ghost Runner is actually a speed game.
Yeah.
Dark Souls just has wrong warps. Bye. Portal 2. That's a goat. See, Portal 2 and Fire Red need to be intrinsically tied together because they were the two most played games I had growing up.
Well, that works. Well, next to each other.
Yeah. Portal 2 is probably a better game than Fire Red. It's much more like culturally accepted and like referenced. It's definitely a much bigger game than Fire Red. Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. I think this was the best Zelda game of the Game Boy Advance era. It might be one of my... Well, it's definitely one of my favorite Zelda games of all time, right? But I think it might be one of the best designed. It had a lot of really cool puzzles. The lore was really nice. It had a really... The companion, instead of being like a fairy, was just a talking hat, which was really funny. And he was very sarcastic and kind of an asshole. And I'll put you at the top of bangers next to Skyward Sword, because I do like Minish Cap more than Skyward Sword. I'm not gonna front. Hades is a GOAT. We'll put it next to the other roguelite GOAT. I don't know how much I have to talk about Hades because it's very popular, but I like Hades a lot.
Yep.
It's very good. I 100%ed Hades. That was fun. It's got really good lore for a roguelike and characters, and it's like voice acted. It's so good. It's so good. I love Hades. Minecraft. Look, is Minecraft a rose tinted glasses?
No, think about it. Okay. So here's the way that I think about it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Did any of the game make you feel like Minecraft when it came out? Right. It was like it was completely different to anything else you've ever played. And I think that it's not like, oh, it was good for the time. Or like, oh, it's the only game that I had access to, right? No, it stood by itself. You could have been like, I don't like this type of game, but it did something new and it made you play it, you know?
So I feel like it has to go next to Stardew, right? It has it has the niche of I'm having this itch and this is the only thing that'll scratch the itch, right? Yeah. There is no game that scratches the Minecraft itch other than Minecraft. Yeah. And like Stardew Valley, I guess you could argue like Harvest Moon or like Rune Factory could scratch the itch, but those games are a lot.
Stardew Valley was like a modernization of them.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly. Whereas, like, if we're talking Zelda, you have Minish Cap, you have Skyward Sword, you have Link's Awakening, you have Twilight Princess, wherever it is on this list, right here. You have a lot of options for, like, a Zelda itch. Whereas Minecraft's a specific niche. Also, Minecraft is the game where you play for a week and then you don't play it for, like, a year. So I feel like putting it into a GOAT... Like, you could definitely put it in the GOATs, but, like... I just also wasn't ever super huge into Minecraft, to be fair. Yep. Because I was busy playing Pokemon and Portal.
Yep.
Spider-Man, it's a GOAT. For Zol's sake, I'm just going to put these in GOATs and not talk for 45 minutes about how much I love Spider-Man.
Only 45? Damn.
Yeah.
You could say that it's faithful to the Spider-Man storytelling. Right? Gives you the same feeling.
It's Spider-Man. I love it for Spider-Man.
It's Spider-Man.
It's Spider-Man. Yep. The web swinging is very good. I'm gonna put them in this order actually because the web swinging and stuff feels way better in Spider-Man 2. I think I like the lore for Spider-Man 1 a little bit better. But the web swinging is just untouched for Spider-Man 2. Yep. It is what it is. Pokemon trading card game. I'm gonna put it at the bottom of unfortunately impactful because it's a trading card game that I enjoy, but the issue is everybody scalps it to shit, so you can't really play it, and it's super expensive to play. And also the fact, and there's nothing wrong with this, it is much more for kids than Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh is, which means if I wanted to play said card game, my options are at the moment, from what I've seen, a very shitty online client, or going to a local game store, hoping that they have Pokemon nights, because the product gets scalped to shit, so there's not very many people who actually play it, because it's mostly a collector's TCG, on top of having to go and play with children. And I am 24 at the time of filming this, and I'm really happy that kids have a card game that they can play. I was that kid, but I do not feel comfortable as a 24-year-old person spending my time hanging out with like 9-year-olds. Like, it's just not what I want to do. I feel like I can't cuss, can't use dark humor, can't make adult jokes. Like,
I'm beating them too hard. Like in the game, I mean.
Whoa. True, and you have to like sandbag. It's like, I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's kind of everything about the card game outside of the card game is why I'm ranking it really low, which kind of sucks. Neo 2. I want to put you in the GOATs, but I feel like I'm going to be so real with you. I do genuinely love Neo 2. I went back and played it once it came out on PC. But the only reason I managed to get through Neo 2 is probably because it came out like right at the start of COVID-19 here. So I don't think furloughed is the right word. Basically, I got put on the reserve list of employees, so I had like a ton of free time. So I just played the shit out of Neo 2 when it came out on the PS5.
You did. You went through a phase with that game. Like you.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad that you're putting it at the top of bangers. I think you should go there, personally.
Yeah, like I don't. I
Look
wouldn't
how
put
far
it.
Dark Souls 3 is sinking.
I don't like Dark Souls 3 that much anymore.
Oh.
I've been traumatized. Remember?
You gave it respect, but it's just been sinking and sinking and sinking.
Well, it's because it had. Look, I'll give it the respect that it's due, but at the end of the day, I also just don't enjoy playing it anymore.
Okay.
If this list came out like before I 100%ed it, it'd probably be up in the goats. I'm gonna be so real with you, but going through the 100%, it just kind of burned me. But yeah, Neo 2, I went through a phase with it. I played like what 100. No, I played like 210 hours of it on PS5 because I was furloughed, and then it came out to PC. Whoops. And then it came out to PC, and I did the same thing. I played like 140 hours of it straight, and I really, really like Neo 2. The issue is I don't think I could recommend it to anybody because it's so hard. Like, just getting into it, it's so difficult. And so people are like, Neo 2's not difficult. What are you chatting? You're fucking snorting crack. But it's a hard game. Me personally, I didn't really struggle until like New Game Plus 7, but I mean that's just me, you know. It's just I really like Neo 2. I just don't feel like I can put it above bangers because I went through phases with it, but I don't think about it. I couldn't tell you any boss names. I couldn't tell you what any of the music sounds like. I couldn't tell you what well, I guess I could technically tell. No, I couldn't even, because one of the bosses is the protagonist from the first one. Sorry, spoilers. And I can't remember his name, so I guess I can't tell you the name of any bosses. Definitely a good game though. I love Neo 2. If you like hard games, I would recommend Neo 2 a lot.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
We might have to edit. Wait, where's Wukong on here?
Oh, you're so true.
And Terraria, by the way. I don't know if you wanted it in the top 50.
Yeah, I didn't want to put Terraria on here. Okay. I'm gonna be so real with you. As much as I like Wukong, I don't think Wukong's actually in my top 50 games. Because if it wasn't called Wukong, I probably wouldn't I probably wouldn't care about it, right?
Really? What about the mechanics? Did it not play as you wanted it to?
Well, it did, but the issue is I would consume any Wukong media because he's my favorite fictional character of all time. Like, it's a game that I 100%ed in like a month, like 80 hours or something. It's very linear. It's really short. If it literally wasn't Wukong, I wouldn't care about it. I would have probably stopped playing it after the first like 2 areas.
But it is Wukong.
I know, but I'm rating the game. Like that's like saying like if we're talking because Wukong, I could put League of Legends at the top. Like because Wukong's in it.
So you didn't like the mechanics that much, or like it wasn't enough game for you?
It wasn't enough game.
Like it wasn't your kind of game.
It wasn't enough game. It was really linear. The builds were kind of boring. I really enjoyed the Wukong fantasy, but like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I guess I could take like Chuzzle off the list. After this, yeah. Well, I want to get a tattoo of Galaga, so.
Oh, really?
Yoink. Put that up there, actually.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, side tangent. I'll probably keep that in because that's a good point. Why is Wukong not on here? I guess it's because a game I just 100%ed and forgot about.
It wasn't in your mind long enough.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, the criteria
short.
we tried to use for this was like 100 hours, right?
Yeah,
Apart
true.
from the fact that we had to acknowledge Elden Ring. Yeah.
What do you mean? I have like 140 hours in Elden Ring.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah, I've played a lot of Elden Ring. I
Why would
just
you do that
don't
to
like it.
yourself?
I don't like it. Because everybody kept telling me, oh, it'll get good, oh, it'll get good. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this is so boring. And I just beat it and uninstalled it immediately. Unfortunately impactful. This is Smite, if you can't tell, it kind of cuts it
Oh,
off.
I actually couldn't. Yeah.
It's unfortunately impactful. I liked it a lot. I mostly only played it because it was free on PS4. So I didn't need like PlayStation Plus because free games at the time didn't require you to have PlayStation Plus to play online. So it was my first PvP game was Kid Icarus Uprising. I'm gonna be so real with you, but my first actually considered PvP game.
I mean, Smite. The thing about Smite is it's a bit like something like Minecraft, right? In that it nothing really exists like it. It's just it doesn't do it that well. It does it okay, right? But it doesn't do it that well.
Yeah. Pac-Man. I feel like all the old arcade games are just gonna end up in rose-tinted glasses because Pac-Man.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I like Pac-Man.
Unless you think it like is better than a lot of the more modern games, which is hard to say with that.
Well, it's hard for me to recommend playing Pac-Man over like. Do I want to play Dark Souls 2 or do I want to play Pac-Man? Do I want
I'd
to
rather play Pac-Man.
I'd rather play Pac-Man too. But that was a bad example. Would I rather play Ghost Runner or Pac-Man? Legend of Zelda or Pac-Man? Like,
Yeah.
Pac-Man's like the play a couple rounds of it and then forget about it for like a year and a half type game, you know?
True.
We got all of the Legend of Zeldas are just gonna get clumped under bangers. I'm gonna be so fucking real with you. Link's Awakening, I like it a lot. The Switch remake is such a good game. It's so fun. I love it a lot. The speed runs for it are also like really creative. There's an enemy that's like a worm that pops out of the ground, and what you do is I think you either block an attack from it or hit it, and then you cast like a petrification powder on it, and then you run up the petrified worm enemy and jump off of its head to get out of bounds. Like, the speed runs of this game are nuts. I love that game.
Why did that sound like Shadow of the Colossus? And would that be on your list?
Shadow of the Colossus wouldn't be on my list. I've never actually I can't beat Shadow of the Colossus.
No, fair enough.
And it's not like a difficulty thing. There's just two Colossus, which are giant underwater beasts. And yeah, I my thalassophobia is too bad. I literally can't beat Shadow of the Colossus. I can play it and I really enjoy it up to the once, and then I really enjoy like playing after it. But I can't play it. Like, my thalassophobia is too bad.
Makes sense.
Rose tinted glasses for Smash Bros. For sure. I just don't really have the time or the drive anymore to want to play a shit ton of platform fighters. So it's a game that like me and Victor might put on for like a couple of rounds, like every now and then, because there's so many characters we like in like Ultimate. But I played every single Smash Bros. For over probably 200 hours. I know specifically for Smash Bros. 4, on just my 3DS, I played Smash Bros. 4 for 876 hours, and that doesn't take into account all the time I spent playing Smash 4 with Darian on his devices, or playing Smash 4 not on the 3DS. So yeah. I played Smash Bros. 4 like a lot. And all of them rank very similar to me. It's very much like oh, my favorite Nintendo character's here. Hell yeah. I like Warframe a lot. It's such a time sink though. I'm sorry, buddy. You're going to unfortunately impactful.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, when a game doesn't get good until after 100 hours, and I've sunk like 200-300 hours into the game before I started like really enjoying it. I feel like it's unfortunately impactful because at that point it's more like an addiction than like a game.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully it's not like that now. I can just hop on and hop off whenever, and I'm at the point where the content's just fun. But like I could have learned SQL instead of playing Warframe. And I know that's true for all of the games, but specifically in Warframe's case, where when the game doesn't get good for that long, but you're just like, I gotta get to the good part. I gotta get to the good part, and you're just playing it while bored, just grinding. Like that's not healthy. It's an unfortunate impact. As much as I like it now, if we're talking about like if you were given an account, it'd probably be in like the banger or like rose tinted glasses because it's not a game for everybody. But just because of the time sink, I'm putting it in unfortunately impactful.
Mm-hmm.
Enter the Gungeon.
Boom.
A goat. A goat.
Whoa!
Yeah, it's going up there.
Whoa!
First roguelike I ever 100%ed. In love with the aesthetic, like all the characters. The lore's really interesting. Is a very skill-based roguelike. Unlike Binding of Isaac, there's not a lot of skill in Enter the Gungeon. I beat the game as the robot with just a basic pistol because the enemies and room design are actually fair, and the RNG just makes it easier. But I think it's the best bullet hell roguelike ever, and it might be one of the best roguelikes ever. Very big fan of Enter the Gungeon. Love the shit out of that game. I played that game for 26 hours straight, and it is the only game that I think I can say that for. Yeah, because even playing Ark, I like took breaks and like naps, and then went back to playing it for a long time. But I literally played Gungeon for 26 hours straight once on the PS4. So, that was, to be fair, that was in high school. But no other game on this list I have played for 26 hours straight except for My Beloved, but we haven't gotten there yet.
Also, one thing to keep in mind is I know it was in high school, but that wasn't super early in your game career, right? Like there was some stuff to be doing, and you had got other games under your belt. So the fact that you went that hard in a game at that point is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I love Enter the Gungeon so much. It's so good. It's unfortunately a game that I've 100%ed it twice, just to be clear. Once on PS4, got it on PC, 100%ed it on PC. I was playing it with my friend Will through Steam Remote Play, and I flawlessed the floor 4 boss with like 2 seconds of input delay. And that's why I don't really play it anymore, is because I've played it so much that it's boring because it's just easy at this point.
I'm gonna say it's also one of the games I've basically heard you criticize the least. Like it's frustrated you the least. I think that's really impressive.
Yeah, like
Because obviously you get frustrated when you're playing games. It's challenging, but yeah.
yeah, it's just really well designed. The most I ever like hated playing Gungeon was, I don't remember if it was for an achievement or just because I wanted to do it, but no, it was challenge. It was a challenge run, where you can basically play the game in like a sped up version, and you can play the game where there's like random traps and everything. And the most frustrated I ever got was playing the game in a sped up version with random traps and getting it hit one time in the boss because it was unavoidable. And that was like the most frustrating part of Gungeon to me, because it's so fair. Like it's the most fair roguelike. Because Hades is balanced around like you have multiple revives and extra health and boons and like damage negation and deflects and dashes, and Gungeon very much so is designed around the base. Like when you like right out the box, it's balanced around that.
Great mechanics, yeah.
Yeah, it's not balanced around, oh, you have all of these mechanics in 20 hours, so we're balancing around that. It's balanced around like out of the box, so it's like the most fair. I feel like it's the best designed. The weapons are like interesting. There aren't items like in Isaac that just actively hurt you. it actually tells you what the items do. It's just I love Gungeon, and I guess I haven't really yapped about Gungeon to like you because my Gungeon phase was definitely in the past. But
You have,
I
but
love Gungeon.
it's always just been like the strongest praise I've ever heard. Like, so that's why there isn't, I think, as much to talk about, because it's just
Yeah, it's just so good.
amazing.
I just love Gungeon. I will say, if I had to give my biggest critique of Gungeon, it's that the game is almost frustratingly fair. And what I mean by that is the way that you get more maximum health and stuff is you have to flawless bosses, and there's like whole characters to unlock and like stuff you have to do where you have to flawless every single boss. And when it's that fair, it can be really frustrating, because it's like, fuck, I got hit, I'm so bad. But that you being bad isn't a fault of the game. It's just kind of the most annoying part is that it was so fair, I guess, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's like super predictable, and you don't get anything for free.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's nice to get things for free, occasionally in games.
Yeah, but it's still really challenging. It's just there's not very many situations where you're forced to take damage, which I really like.
Yep.
Street Fighter 4 got me into fighting games. Hold on. I'm thinking about it. This game was kind of a balanced nightmare. Kind of terrible. But it got me into fighting games, and I really like it. And I remember playing the 3DS version where every character was broken and watching on 3DS YouTube app, like, infiltration do Akuma combos. So that's like the definition of rose tinted. Because I would not go back and play it today, but I just love Street Fighter 4. Tetris is good. People still play Tetris. I will say though,
You still play it? Aren't you like 30th in the world on
on Tetris 3DS? I'm like 30th out of 34 people who play that game on the 3DS. Yeah, I like Tetris. The issue is it's so basic, but I enjoy it.
Isn't that impressive though? That is quite impressive for a game to be so basic, but so
True.
engaging.
I know that this isn't a music tier list because then it would be completely different, but like it's got goated music. Tetris music is just nuts. I'll put it in bangers, I guess.
And when you talk about Tetris, we're talking about a collection of games, really, aren't we?
Yeah, like Tetris the games. Yeah, like the concept.
Yep.
I like Tetris.
But they always have banger music.
Yeah, true. Risk of Rain 2. Me and Victor 100%ed this. It's like it's got. I'm gonna put it next to Dark Souls 3. It's got Dark Souls 3 syndrome where, I just played such a high concentration of it, going for the 100%, that it kind of like burned me to the point that I really just don't enjoy playing it anymore, which is unfortunate because I do think it's a good game. I'll put it next to Dark Souls 3 just because I don't think it's much higher than that, just because in terms of like balance, it's not really balanced at all. You have shit like the Railgunner, which on stage 1 can like literally in one hit kill the teleporter boss. So it's kind of a balanced nightmare. There's a lot of characters that are kind of fucking useless. Like Acrid is okay, but the issue with Acrid is no matter what the enemy HP, you kind of kill it at the same speed. Commando is just kind of a dead character. Engie is just kind of a dead character. It's not a very well balanced game, but it's fun. It's just I feel like I can't put it much higher than that because it's burned me a lot and the balance is awful. League of Legends. I think that's League of Legends. Is that League of Legends or Elder Scrolls Legends? No, this is League of Legends.
Oh wait,
this is Elder Scrolls Legends. Elder Scrolls Legends is a GOAT. Well, actually, I don't know where to put this because you can't really play this game anymore.
Well, what was the journey of it? Let's briefly summarize it.
The journey of it was, it had its own custom client, that I had downloaded, and I had it downloaded on like the app before I had a phone. My sister let me borrow her tablet to play this game, and then she let me borrow her laptop to play this game. And then when it came out on Steam, I played like 190 hours of it, and then the last update came out, and it kind of just died. And the reason it died is because it ruined Twitch streamers' careers. So a bit of lore. Elder Scrolls Legends decided it was gonna do Twitch drops, which is fine, but it was like Twitch drops for every like hour or something. You had a chance to get it, and every like so or so it was confirmed. I don't remember. It was like 10 years ago. But what ended up happening is you would have streamers with very inactive chats, with like 10,000 viewers in their stream because of the Twitch drops. And then, like, I know two people specifically, Bradford Lee, and I can't remember his name, but it was another streamer for Elder Scrolls Legends. Their channels got hit for view botting because of that, because of Twitch drops. So then the game pretty much lost overnight. Not overnight, but you know what I'm talking about. It lost all of the streaming and the viewer base, and then the game lost all support, and it stopped being updated like 6 years ago. I thought it was really fun. It was really cool. I'm going to put it at rose-tinted glasses, though, because it was kind of one of the only multiplayer games I had at the time.
Yeah. What, I feel like the way that you talked about it, it had the potential to be the best card trading game, right?
In my opinion, yeah. I think it was better than Magic the Gathering, just to be honest with you. But it died a very unfortunate, painful, quick death. League of Legends, unfortunately impactful. Nobody who plays League likes League. Moving on.
I forced him to put it on the list because you can't just ignore it.
Yeah, when I have like 1,600 hours in it, I can't leave it off of the top 50 games of all time list, as much as I hate it. RoboQuest, banger. I feel like I haven't played it enough to move it much higher than this, but it's so good. Like, go play RoboQuest. It's so nice as a roguelike. It's so good. Expedition 33 is going above Gungeon, actually.
Oh my god. Are you sure that's not recency bias? I mean, I think it's pushing games forward, to be fair.
It's got really, really good lore, really fun combat. It's got actual, like, skill progression in different builds. It's like a classic Final Fantasy meets Dark Souls, but it has my favorite aesthetic, which is, I don't even know what you would call the aesthetic. Like, what do you call, like, the aesthetic of, like, Lies of P mixed with, like, Dungeons and Dragons? Like, what do you even call that aesthetic?
It's like noir fantasy or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like noir fantasy. My favorite aesthetic, noir fantasy. It's got it. It's got really good lore. It's got really interesting characters. It's got really in-depth character relationships. It's got so much. I could talk about this game forever, but it hasn't been out that long, so I don't want to spoil everything. If somebody happens to watch this.
Incredible music. Oh my god. Yeah.
It's got good music. Fate is a rose-tinted glasses. It gave me my love of dungeon crawlers. I'm honestly gonna move it. Do I put it at the top?
Well, hold on. Isn't it? I know you got a lot of nostalgia for it, but isn't it actually also just a good game? Like, it's pretty good game. So it might not need to be demoted down there.
True. It's a very simple game.
But
Like, imagine
it was genre defining, wasn't it? I believe.
True.
I think it was done for the first time to an extent.
So
maybe around the
imagine-
Minecraft era.
Yeah, I'll put it around Minecraft. So imagine, like, Diablo as, like, a human body, right? And then Fate is just a skeleton. Like, no skin, no meat, no organs. So I like it a lot, but I definitely probably couldn't recommend it. It did just get a remaster, but the remaster is basically the same game, but with more playable races. So, and like more pet options. Definitely.
More games and more in it.
Yeah, definitely a weird one. Twilight Princess is my favorite Legend of Zelda game of all time. I'm putting it up here. The only
Finally,
reason
Zelda breaks the goats.
the only reason it's not up higher than this is because this game basically saved my life, and this game was my life for a while. And then these two games I don't really have well, I guess I could critique the shit out of Expedition 33 about certain things, but it's so good. I love Expedition.
But isn't that
33.
what makes them towards the top? Is that like both of those games aren't standing on any like life circumstances? They're literally just
they're just
the
good.
game. Yeah.
And Twilight Princess, it's definitely like old, so it doesn't have the best graphics or the most in-depth story. It's just it fits my favorite aesthetic of noir grimdark fantasy. And I like the puzzles in it. I think they're really cool. There's a lot of cool like speedrunning stuff you can do on accident. Like in the water temple, there's a whole thing about like raising and lowering the water, but once you get the grappling hook, you can just grapple to the ceiling and drop down onto the boss thing. And the memory of figuring that out has stuck with me for like the past 15 years. Whenever this game came out, I don't remember when it came out. Because it came out before the Wii. I think it's like 2008.
Oh my lord. Nearly 20 years, yeah.
Yeah, and I played it in like 4th grade, so it's just my favorite Zelda game. I have two in it, I guess. Yu-Gi-Oh! All the way at the bottom, unfortunately, impactful. It has the same issues as Pokemon, except the game's not fun anymore. So add that onto it.
Before we go into our final three, can we give the honorable mention shout out to Jump King?
Jump King is Zolaric's video game's favorite game to watch me play, even though it's 2D and he hates 2D games on principle.
And that's why it broke the,
It
shattered
mold.
my expectations. Yeah.
Oh god. Other special shout out, Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. Marble It Up, Chain Together.
Oh yeah, Chain Together, come on now.
Cuphead.
That's Chain Together is actually going to be on my list if I ever do one, because
It was
I've
so
never
funny.
laughed so hard at a game.
We were laughing so fucking hard. It was so good. It was so good. Okay, so 3 games here we have.
Games.
So we have Magic the Gathering at yeah, it's unfortunately impactful.
Really?
I play the shit out of Magic the Gathering, but the issue with Magic the Gathering is I think it's really, really fun. But the issue is, right, I don't really like spending money on it anymore because Wizard of the Coast is kind of a shit company. There's so many things that I just don't like about it. Like, I just disagree with Blue's entire existence. I don't play Standard because it's boring. Timeless is like a sweatshop on Arena. Modern is a disaster. The only format I even play is Commander, but even then I only play in a pod of like 4 people, and like it's just, and the money, dude. You know how much money I've spent on Magic the Gathering? It's too much. Like if we're talking about Slay the Spire, I've spent like 1/3 of a cent for every hour I've played. Like Magic the Gathering, I've spent like $5 per hour I played. That's a little bit of hyperbole. I'm not gonna lie to you. I played a lot of Magic the Gathering, but you see what I mean. Like Magic the Gathering is the game I've spent the most on of anything. I'm not gonna disclose the information, but Magic the Gathering is the game that has ruined my bank account the most.
I really like that you're factoring in the cost to get the enjoyment out of it in these games, in the unfortunate impactful. I think it's a common theme, right, with a lot of these. And it's like the opposite of Enter the Gungeon, right? Magic the Gathering. It's like not fair necessarily. Obviously, there's definitely some control, but there is in every game. But there's a lot of factors that are like not just playing the game and getting better and enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. It's like the same thing with, it's the same thing with like League and Hearthstone and Overwatch and Ark and like Magic, where it's I play them and I enjoy them, and Warframe's like the other good example. But can you imagine? Because you try to learn Magic the Gathering. Can you imagine in 2025 trying to get into Magic the Gathering? It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. And if I hadn't played Magic the Gathering since I was like 8, I probably wouldn't play Magic the Gathering. It's the same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh. I got Master Duel when it came out because I was like, oh, Yu-Gi-Oh, I haven't played that game in like, oh god, 10 years because I stopped playing when I was in high school. But it's like, it's just, there are certain things that I just can't rate above. Like, what am I gonna enjoy Magic the Gathering more than a game from my childhood over Dark Souls, over Portal, over any of these games that are just fun? Or am I gonna play it because I have sunken cost fallacy and I've played it too long to not play it? Like, at a certain point, we gotta be real with ourselves, right? Like, my life would probably be better. I would have a lot more money if I didn't play Magic the Gathering. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I know exactly what you're saying. I'm just letting you say it. I'm not judging, you know.
Okay, so now we're back to the bottom 2 games, the last 2. All right.
Well, we've only got 2 games. One of these is your beloved. It could be Slay the Spire.
It could be.
For some reason, you really talk a lot about that game. You know, it's not my kind of game, but
it's we all know. We all knew. Blood War is my favorite game of all time. It's got a good story. I really like the aesthetic. It's my favorite Soulsborne game. It came out at a good time of my life, so I have a lot of good memories with it. It's the first game I ever bought DLC for. Ludwig, I fought that boss for 12 hours straight because I had a +7 weapon and I was level 34. And he one-shot me, and I had to literally do that boss fight perfectly because I was stubborn and I wanted to beat him when I got to him. And I fought him for 12 hours straight. It is the longest boss I've ever fought. I had to do him hitless. I wouldn't do that if it wasn't my favorite game of all time. Now,
I mean, that's me with every single Souls-like boss, but anyway.
True. Now here's the thing, right? Because Bloodborne's my favorite game of all time, but that doesn't mean I can't talk shit about it. You know, I think the fact that it's locked to PS4 is a tragedy. It kind of runs like shit. A lot of the storytelling is vague and very easy to miss. A lot of the NPC quests are a pain in the ass to do because they're kind of buggy. But it's just, I just love it. Like, I can't explain it. It's just my favorite game of all time. I've played it so many times. I've beat that game with every single weapon multiple times. I love Bloodborne. I am obsessed with Bloodborne. It is my favorite game of all time.
It rewards you for spending a lot of time on it, you know? Like you say, the storytelling's vague, but the fact that you know that means that you're able to find it out, right? You're able to see it, and it seems subtle like that, or ethereal, or like mythical and things like that. So that's cool. I mean, for me, it was so intense. It was very difficult for me to get through, but I totally respect that choice.
That's why I like it, because I really like the horror, body horror aesthetic, and like the beast plague, and the moon is watching, and like Cthulhu and eldritch abominations. Like, it's so good. It's like everything I like about fiction is like rolled up into it. And then Slay the Spire is just the best deck building roguelike to ever exist. It was like the first one. It populated the genre. It is very well designed. It's got 4 characters. The Watcher, we don't talk about the Watcher. It's got a lot of classes. They're all really fun. There's a lot of depth to it. You can go very in depth. You can play as the defect and try and min-max everything. You can play as the silent and draw through your whole deck and play like every play style you could want is in Slay the Spire. It is the best deck building roguelike. I love Slay the Spire. I have played so much Slay the Spire. It's good.
I may give it a go one day. I may actually give it a go because especially when you just sent me a video, right, with like basically someone getting coached on it.
Yeah.
I believe that was Slay the Spire. And it's like there's something about it where I was like, oh wait, actually there's non-obvious choices and things like that, right? So you are being rewarded for trying to think ahead and understanding the game, and I think that that makes me interested in playing it, which is very strange because it's 2D and a card game.
Yeah.
And a roguelike.
So those are like your 3 least favorite game types, all rolled up into one. It's just, it's so good. It's like well designed. The art style's nice. The music is good. It's just so good. It's so good. It's hard to articulate just how good it is because a lot of the things about it that are good are like things you would have no idea what I'm yapping about if you don't play it. Because there's like potion chance and easy versus hard encounters and relic rewards and chances, and it's just very well balanced, and I like it a lot. And I'm really excited for the second game to come out. Will the second game, will Slay the Spire 2 dethrone Bloodborne as my favorite game of all time? Probably not. Probably not. I will say, in terms of like aesthetics and story, Lies of P is right up there with Bloodborne. It's like tied with Bloodborne. The only issue I have with Lies of P is that it's very Elden Ring-esque combat, but the fact that it's a very grim, dark, like lore and aesthetic, and it's very like, I don't even know what to call it, like dark London fantasy. Like,
Yep.
it's just,
I mean, for me,
so good.
I mean, watching you play through Lies of P, I will say there's certain sections that I didn't love as much. It looked a bit more like generic Dark Souls-y kind of landscape. But yeah, I mean, the characters and the storytelling in the moments that matter is just amazing.
So good.
There's actually one thing I wanted to mention briefly that you've talked about with Claire. I always call it Claire.
Yeah.
That I think is really important. And you said to me you were so excited because you said this is like the first game in, as you know, not ever, but you know, it's super rare for a game to fully capture your attention, where you can sit down and you can play it straight with the music on. There's no distractions. There's no supplementary YouTube video in the background or anything like that. And the pacing of the game, right, is so well done. And I think that maybe a lot of the common themes of these top games are that they reward you for paying attention, right?
Yeah. Like, it's not really surprising considering their aesthetics and like lore. But if there were ever 2 games that would knock Bloodborne down from my favorite, it would either be Clair Obscur or Lies of P. Honestly, the only reason they didn't is probably just because of like when Bloodborne came out and like how much I played it. Like if Expedition 33 came out, yeah, it was also first. Like if Expedition 33 came out in like 2015 and Bloodborne came out now, and you just like swap the graphics, Expedition 33 would undoubtedly be my favorite game of all time. It's just I can acknowledge when I have personal biases, and Bloodborne is a very personal biased favorite game.
Yeah, but those games are somewhat standing on the shoulders of giants, right? So
Yeah.
there's no doubt that they've taken inspiration from games like Bloodborne and things like that, right, to build their own aesthetic and to an extent gameplay, especially with Lies of P. So, is there any changes to the audio you want to make, or do you feel like we actually ended up ironing them all out during it?
I think Bowser's Inside Story's got to go down. I think you need to go up, just because I'm thinking about it again.
It's gonna go ahead of Gungeon after all of what you just said.
Well, I'm changing the order. It's like
Okay.
this and then this.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
And then, because I'm trying to balance out like how much I like the game versus how much the game makes me feel, you know?
Yeah.
Because
It's hard to untangle.
Bloodborne just makes me really happy to play it.
Everyone has
really
a game
happy.
where they're not going to change their mind. Like it's rooted, you know. For me, it's AO, you know. So
Yeah. So Slay the Spire, Gungeon, those 2 together. Honestly, it might be Gungeon before Slay the Spire, honestly. Which feels weird because I played so much Slay the Spire, but to be fair, my Slay the Spire hours are bloated because I've worked I worked at a call center, so I could play it between calls and stuff while I was working. So my Slay the Spire time is a little bit bloated. But I've done literally everything in both of these games. I beat every character and the heart on Ascension. I beat the heart on Ascension 20 with every character. I've unlocked everything. I've done all the achievements, and that's the same for both of these. So these two are like basically tied. And then these two are basically tied. I think Clair Obscure edges out Lies of P a little bit just because I find the combat a lot more fun. Because there's not also a good thing about Expedition 33 is if you look at this, right, there of everything on this list, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 4 things on here that are turn-based, and they're pretty much all in the goats.
Yep. They're either good or they're boring. They're either really good or they're boring. But you gotta really get it right.
Yeah.
I also want to say that there's RPGs in this list, but no Bethesda games. Fuck you, Skyrim. Fuck
So
Bethesda.
true. Fuck Skyrim. Fuck Bethesda. Oblivion Remastered was just a cash grab. I don't even think it looks that much better than the original. Just go play the original. Anyway. Random rant. So Fate is a banger. I kind of want to split up the Zeldas a little bit, but I kind of think they all... Well, you... Actually, do I like a Link's Awakening on the Switch more than Minish Cap? I think I do. And then you can go down here with Mario. You two can stay together. Minecraft and you stay together because you both scratch an itch. I think Risk of Rain is going to get bumped down. I think RoboQuest has to be bumped down because I'm looking at the 3 giants next to each other. I like you more than... well... On my first playthrough, I really liked this a lot, but since it is a story game, there's not a whole lot of point of you playing it, other than to try, like, well, you can't even, like, do different builds and stuff, honestly, so, we'll do this. And then, Gunfire, I kind of want to move up a little bit, just because I really like a bunch of the characters. This seems appropriate. And then this...
Yeah, I feel like the order starts to matter less at that point, yeah.
Yeah, the order matters less down here.
It's amazing that all of the unfortunately impactful ones are like AAA. Well, almost.
Yeah.
Almost entirely AAA, yeah.
It's unfortunate. Like, maybe I'm just a hater, but I don't like the QTE combat. I don't like that Elden... I'm gonna say it.
What about Claire?
Expedition 33 feels less turn-based than Elden Ring. I said it. It's literally turn-based, feels less turn-based than Elden Ring. Because what happens in Elden Ring? You swing, wait for your stamina to go up. This person's doing like a 30-second wind back. Can you imagine if we were fighting in real life and I wound back for 23 seconds and then just went brrrr and just like beat the dust off you?
That is you with setting up your tokens and stuff, right, in card games. So yeah. It does feel like playing against you in a card game while you're doing your own, playing your own game.
Play my own game.
To one-shot me.
But like that's what I'm talking about, because Expedition 33, the late game, I've had more interactive combat in Expedition 33 than I did with the final bosses of Elden Ring. Because a lot of the final bosses of Elden Ring are just health sponges that go Rah! And they just start like smiting the floor and doing like random bullshit. Like, I don't know. I just really... maybe I'm just a hater, but I really don't get the Elden Ring hype. I really don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
It feels way too... And it feels like way too, like, ha, gotcha. Like, gotcha, bitch. Because of how many enemies will, like, hit and then wait. And then as soon as you roll, hit. And then wait. And then as soon as you roll, hit. And then wait. As soon as you roll, hit. And then wait. Like... I'm a much more fan of like the Dark Souls like 1 and like a Bloodborne combat where you can walk up to an enemy for the first time and based purely on reactions roll through all of their attacks, whereas Elden Ring is like, oh, I'm winding back, I'm gonna get you, gonna get you, I'm gonna get you, yeah.
Would it be fair to say that Elden Ring is kind of like meant to be? It seems like the design was meant to be more cinematic and reward leveling. right? So more typical RPG in that way, where it's like you don't have as much control over the bosses. You kind of just have to, number one, probably just level up a lot, and then number two, just get smashed a lot until you see that they're
Yeah.
just going to keep winding back for X amount of time. It's less
Well,
interactive. It feels like Bloodborne's the opposite of that.
yeah.
Like in Bloodborne, you can be very nippy.
Well, the issue with Elden Ring is when, because the thing that drives me nuts about Elden Ring specifically, and I might like crop this and just make this a separate video on why I hate Elden Ring, but Elden Ring, when you have a player base like Dark Souls, where they're like, I want the game to be hard. How do you make it hard? By punishing them for playing the previous games. And that's what Elden Ring did, where if you get hit by an enemy with Elden Ring and as soon as you get hit you roll, you get hit by the next one because there's that much of a delay between their attacks that they like roll catch you and punish. Whereas like the earlier Dark Souls, they just go through like a flurry of attacks, right? Where it's like roll, 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 and it's like really hype and like intense. Whereas Elden Ring's like and
Yeah, it has no rhythm.
stab and stab
No rhythm.
and stab and stab and and stab and
Change
stab.
gear, damn it!
Like it drives me nuts. I'm like the other thing that makes me drive me crazy is because one of the critiques that people have had about Lies of P is that it does the Elden Ring thing of having too much wind up. But nobody ever calls out Elden Ring for having too much wind up. They call out other games for mimicking Elden Ring's wind up, but they don't call out Elden Ring for having too much wind up. Elden Ring has too much wind up.
Yep.
Like it's like one pace. Like like each Elden Ring attack has a filler episode in it, bro. Just get to the fucking point. Like,
I think we have to give Liza P credit for that patch with the reduced health on bosses bit, right?
true. Liza P, for those of you, the two of you watching this, it had like an early access period, and then when it came out officially, they nerfed a lot of the health of like the bosses and some elite enemies, just because it's their first work, right, for like a Souls-like game. The only other thing they did, I think, was like a Chinese MMO, and then they went straight into Lies of P, which is fucking phenomenal. Like, I'm applauding you, bro. But they actually like accepted people's feedback and nerfed the health and damage of some bosses, because when it first came out, like in the early access, there were bosses with multiple phases and multiple health bars, but each health bar was like an entire like proper boss health bar. So you were literally fighting 2.5 bosses back to back, and it was a lot. So the fact that they toned it back makes me really happy. It makes it much more enjoyable, because I got most of the way through the game the first time before that patch came out, and like playing it again now recently on Steam, after buying the game instead of playing it on Game Pass because I wanted to support the developers. It's much more enjoyable because this is an issue I have with like Dark Souls 3 and stuff a lot, is they just have so much health. Like, Midir is not a hard fight. He has 3 attacks, but he has way too much health. And I'm not a fan. I like difficulty via complexity instead of time sink.
Yep.
I don't want to sit there for 20 minutes hitting Midir in the fucking left ankle, bro.
For examples of time sync games, please examine Unfortunately Impactful Tale.
True. Where we have League of Legends, Smite, Magic the Gathering, Warframe, Hearthstone, Overwatch,
Arc.
Pokemon.
You have to spend a lot of time in Arc messing about with the multipliers to make it less of a time sync.
Last time we played Arc together, we spent more time setting up the server than playing. Which is really fucking funny to me. Oh god. Well, that's the end of the tier list video.
It's good to have it all laid out like that.
If anybody actually watched this, thanks, I guess. I don't even think it's monetized, so you're just a real one. Goodbye.
Bye.